All right, guys, what's going on? Oh wow, this was rather unexpected. So here at the end of the YCS today, we got the surprise ban list. Thankfully, they didn't just drop it after round one like what they normally do, but they gave us a ban list. I don't think I was expecting this at least as soon. I was expecting January, but we got it effective immediately as of December 9th. So pretty much tomorrow, here at midnight. So the next less than 3 hours from the time of this recording. Yeah, it is here. Welcome to Rise Mouse format. 'Cause that's exactly what this list did. Let's go over it real quick. Let's just retread over some grounds. But as we see now, it's like Dragon Rollers are back at three. This should have happened so long ago. This should have happened too long ago. Moonlight Tiger back at three. This was also part of a bygone era right before Master Rule 4 or the 4 revision Master Rule 5 happened. This was here. Pankratops being back at 3 is really nice. They kind of realized, like, this card is like no longer a problem. It hasn't been a problem so long. 2019 called and they want their card back. But Colossus is kind of funny. Colossus is back at three, but I don't think anyone really cares. The moment it came off and it did pretty much almost nothing, it was kind of like, it was like, oh, Nemesis Flag, Nemesis Corridor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it's Thunder Dragon Colossus, though. We have 10 billion ways to out this card now. And the thing about the ways it's not like back in 2018, 2019, like where we didn't have like highly accessible ways of doing it. Like Imperm was like a $60 to $120 card. Droplets didn't exist yet. So like you were really limited on dealing with Colossus, but now it's just like you droplets is like like a $5 super rare. You can get a place at a droplets, and perms are everywhere from common to QCR to OTS ultimate. You have like a 10 bajillion ways to deal with Thunder Dragon Colossus. Even in engine you do. Like most decks don't even care about this card anymore. Like Thunder Dragon Colossus, Bygone Era, Ib, kind of the same thing, just like Denlong. It's like, we used to kind of hype it up, but when you remove the things that it do and they're not scary anymore, it's like whatever. Opening the Spirit Gates is kind of funny. This card literally went to one, they made it a QCR, and now it's back at three. It is like, okay, whatever. It's like Yubel is gonna have a really bad time going into this next format because of the Mulch armies, both I can't pronounce that name, but Phobolos as well as Perulia's just eat that deck alive, and now it's just like, as we saw, there's another card that goes. But let's go ahead, 7 limit real quick. Yeah, Cyberdrive, Jackalope, Suchi, Eva, before Monkey Board. There's really nothing much to talk about here. Cyberdrive being in 7-11 status just feels so weird to me in the year of our Lord 2024. It's just a card that just does not need to be here. Why didn't it go to 3? Suchi and Jackalope is kind of funny, but like no one really plays Dangers too often anymore. These are two of the best ones, obviously, but it's like Dangers haven't really done anything in such a really long time. Ava, I don't really like this card, but it's like whatever. Drytron is like the only deck that really played this, and no one really plays Drytron anymore. Just because like not only do you have Bestials, yeah, you have the new support for Drytron, but like no one plays the deck. No one. I don't know if it's because of the lack of interest, they don't like it or what, but no one plays that deck anyway. And then Monkey Board. Who's still out here playing Pendulum? I don't know. Um, who's out here really playing Pendulum right now is my honest to goodness question. Like that deck is mid. Well, Pendulum just actually so bad. Like we could have Electromite now and it would not change a single thing. Yeah, no, it's just bad. I could not tell you why this is still here. Simulated, nothing important happened. Limited gets interesting. Barrage is, God bless America. Why Barrage? And what I mean by that is like I don't mean like that is a bad thing, but it shouldn't have just been just Barrage. It should have been Barrage and Trident, not just Barrage on its own. Matter of fact, they should have put this to semi-limited or just put this to three. I really don't understand what TCG Konami hates about Zodiac, but I want this to be back to three next list. I want Trident to be back. Dare I say even Broad Bowl, but that's not going to happen. I'm a crazy man. But three cards on the other three cards, the other three actual cards that makes a difference. Sengun Kaiman as well as Chungus over here. They both got hit to one. Chandra is definitely probably the best Tenpai dragon, and now it's at one. And Sengun Kaiman is at one too, meaning you only get one copy of each of these. Thank you. And now I know some people's like, it's like it's Tenpai is definitely like the the budget friendly deck, but the thing about it is just like its level of interaction is very minimal. It's like we either kill you or we lose type of thing, and I don't think it's a very healthy deck. I don't like the deck design. I remember I was even testing it before it even came out, and when everyone thought it was still bad, I'm like, this is gonna get stupid really fast, isn't it? But thankfully, they did kind of tone down Tenpai a little bit more. I don't think it's dead by any means, but it's definitely a lot weaker, and it's gonna struggle even harder, especially when you have one Chandra. So you get rid of the Chandra, and they're gonna have a really hard time. You get rid of the Sengen Kaiman, they're gonna have a really hard time. That Ash is gonna hurt a lot, and it's just like one of those things where it's just like it's gonna feel really bad. Phantom Yubel, thank goodness this got hit. This was one of those cards where you're just kind of like, let's make Vicious Astrolaud but better. This card was just stupid. The fact that you can make multiple and just keep using it as a body, as just keep it and just have a body, and the fact that this could be like the first thing you go into possibly to protect against hand traps is really stupid. I don't like this card. I don't like this card at all. I hate this card. And this is kind of what brings you Bell from like, okay, this is somewhat tolerable to like, just please get this garbage out of here. I hate the design of this card. The fact that it's a card that says that can contact fuse from field, grave, or hand is stupid. Like, just absolutely asinine. I hate this card. I hate this card. I hate this card. I hate this card. I'm so happy is that one. Having multiple is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a phantom, make another phantom, overlay with another level or another to make a rank 10, what they used to do, or you just get multiple phantoms to use as an extra body by recycling your graveyard to get Yubels back into the deck. Spirit Yubel, also another card that I don't like either because it's just these whole annoying non-once per turn cards, just bad design. But once again, happy's that one. And the Forbidden, which was very small and kind of weird. So this is weird for the reason of Nightmare and Jowgen. Really? This where are these hits? These in 2023 ass Banlist hits, man, is it's just like it feels bad. Brand Fusion, I believe it was the last list. Brand Fusion's at one. Giving puppets, it's like, okay, cool, you ban Nightmare, you bound Dragon, and it's just like, this would have been a lot more interesting had this been going on this happened beforehand, when we were dealing with all the branded nonsense. But after branded fusion went to one, like the branded representation dropped off pretty dramatically. So this happening now is like, Konami, why did you wait until now, December 9th, 2024, after you already put Brand Diffusion to one? This should have happened the previous list if you wanted to do this, or even the list before that, or the list before that, or almost the year that we were asking, hey Konami, can we just either ban Sanctifier or just get rid of this garbage, please? And now it finally happened, but it's like whatever. It's here. The one that's the biggest important part about this is original Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes. This, however, this is a huge hit to Snake Eye decks, and just pretty much general like fire decks that uses the Wanted engine in general, and the Azamita stuff in a sense too. This right here, this is a really strong card, and to get an engine rolling, and now it's like banned. I think this is the card that people either expected to be banned or wanted to be banned in terms of like to get rid of Snake Eye, but doing it now obviously is a very disingenuous thing, in my opinion. Just because now is like Ryziel is going to be the Ryziel and Mouse are the two best decks going forward, as they had a very good representation at this YCS. So this is pretty much going to be our it's pretty much going to be like, what happens going forward is that Ryziel Malice becomes the two best decks. That's pretty much what is shaping up to be. Yubel definitely dropped down a little bit. Phantom Yubel going to one hurts that deck a lot. At the higher levels, it's going to really be rough for Yubel because of the Mold Charming cards that That's really bad for you, Bell. And now you only get one Phantom. So once that Phantom is gone, that Phantom is gone. Um, so I'm not sure what they're going to replace the other two, what they're going to replace for the other two slots in their extra deck, especially like how tight that extra deck was in the first place. But now Sinful Souls is gone. I don't know what Fire King Snake Eyes is gonna look like. I mean, you can still do most of your combos. It's just like you don't have this. You don't have a way to get a level one fire from your deck. Um, somewhat, yeah, because like with especially level one level fire from your hand or deck. Yeah, that's a really strong card. Yeah, Sinful Soul is being gone and also recycling your other cards too is gonna be hard for fire decks moving forward. But once again, we still have three Bonfire, three Wanted, three Black Witch, the Azamina stuff if you really want to play it, but it's definitely a lot weaker. It's definitely going to be a lot weaker here, so go figure. I feel like there could have been a little bit more bans. I felt like Bonfire could have been limited to one. Yeah, Bonfire should have been limited to one. What do I want to say? They should have limited Bonfire for sake of the Brazil. Desires, I feel like that's gonna be stuff like say for the next list though. I feel like next list we're definitely gonna see Bonfire go to one, Desires go to one, possibly ban, depending on how things look. Because we saw this with Sword Soul back in 2021, 2022, where Desires got hit to one and they banned Pro when at the same time when Desires got hit to one they banned Protos. When, the best deck, one of the best decks in the format, aka Sword Soul at that point in time, was the best deck to use Desires, and Desires got hit because of that. And with Prosperity being to one, I can imagine them also hitting Desires to one, possibly next list. I can definitely see that happening again, even though they put it back to three. I can see it getting hit again. Why? Because deck is kind of the deck is very strong. I don't even know what I'm going to play for because I do plan on attending YCS Orlando. I just have no idea what I'm going to play yet. Probably tournament, but I'll see what like things are shaping up because next set is Supreme Darkness. Nothing really comes out of the set. You get the hero support, which is nice for hero players, but then it's just like not going to really do much in my honest opinion. It's just going to be there. I don't think we have any other big sets. Ooh, actually, Actually, hold up. I do not remember this, but when does the Blue Eyes structure come out? God, I cannot type with this thing. Okay, so let's take a look at the Blue Eyes structure deck because I do not remember when this comes out. White Destiny. Yeah, this happens after the YCS. Yeah, this happens approximately almost. This happens almost 2 weeks after after YCS Orlando happens, which YCS Orlando happens on the 1st and the 2nd of February. So immediately at the 1st and 2nd of February, which means, well, welcome to Rizio format, everybody. Welcome to Rizio format. This is definitely one of those things where it's like I'm not exactly thrilled about what's gonna happen. But I don't think also, but I just saw someone Brazil's like Brazil's not super bad though. I guess that's how I feel. Malice is like wombo combo deck and Brazil is just like your very grunty mid range deck that does a lot of things. But like once again, Dreadinator, it's pretty much just like a card that just like you activate a card, you pop. You activate a card, you pop. You activate a card, you pop. Not one per chain, and it's a very interesting, but it's also, as most people kind of put, as a very boring deck. I like the deck personally. I like Exceeds based decks. Huge Zodiac fan, which is kind of why I wish Zodiac would come back to more than just Barrage to one after like 3 years. Like, thanks Konami. Um, but Ryzeal is just gonna be the most consistent, most straightforward deck to play. Today we saw Triff win the YCS with the Fiendsmith version of this deck, which until they receive Seventh Tachyon, which also happens after the YCS. So this deck won't be at full power until after YCS Orlando, which is kind of funny. So the format is definitely, I can still see Ubel's definitely gonna be still in the format. Snake Eyes decks and things of that nature are definitely gonna fall very hard to the wayside. Possibly. I still feel like dedicated Snake Eye players will still be around because once again, I think this deck is still very solid. It's like a very good rogue deck. It's just like you're now just missing your very, very powerful one of, which sucks. Kind of wish it didn't have to be that way, but once again, Snake Eyes been around for a while. But Snake Eyes have already been waning off even with the Azamina stuff, like Snake Eyes hasn't been the best because the last YCS was won by Fiend Smith, Musket, and then this one was won by Fiend Smith. Again, another Fiend Smith engine putting in freaking work. Was won by Fiend Smith, Raziel. So, which we saw like the Fiend Smith cars putting in a ton of work. Also, congratulations to Triff, Graham Gaming for his him actually finally winning a YCS. I remember we were memeing about this when he made top eight, but I forgot at which YCS. I think it was earlier this year, or yeah, I think it was like earlier this year or something like that. When he made like top eights, and it was kind of crazy, or last year during AGOT format. But congratulations to Triff. He played incredibly well. It was really nice, really cool game to see him win that. But yeah, but honestly, going forward, what do you guys think? Are you guys looking forward to Ryziel and Malice, or do you think we're just gonna be like, great, two best decks we're being forced to play? But I do feel like there's definitely gonna be room for improvement, and there's gonna be a lot of people making a lot of what am I thinking? There's gonna be a lot of people making a lot of innovations. I definitely think so because now you have to be on the lookout for the Kashtira build for the Fiendsmith deck. Kashtira Fiendsmith is still a deck. The problem is, and one problem that I hope that kind of, I don't know when it's ever going to get solved ever again, it's just like, do we still have to play like 20 hand traps into the format? You have like your 20 starters, 20 hand traps, and non-engine that you just stick into a deck. Is like, I kind of hope that level of deck building just kind of goes away, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Not now. Not with the obscene power of one card starters, but who knows? Who knows what might happen? But yeah, this is the list. I want to say this is pretty solid. I feel like for the Forbidden, it was a little bit hard to know what was going to get Forbidden. Honestly, I forgot like we got a ban list back in on August 30th, 31st actually. Um, but it didn't really feel like we needed a new ban list yet. I would have waited. I would have preferred it been after or in January or after YCS Orlando. But I mean, who knows what happens? Because of right now, I think like Blue Eyes is going to be like might be a pretty strong contender. I'm not sure how it's going to go for here in the TCG, but we will have to see. Like, is Blue Eyes just going to be actually competent, or is it going to be a deck that just it's like everyone's like, oh my god, it's so good, let's buy all the Blue Eyes cards, and then it's being mid as hell. We only have to wait. We just have to wait to see. But all right, guys. Thank you for listening. Go ahead, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions on this ban list. Do you think it was good? Think it was bad? Think indifferent about it? And what are you guys gonna play for the next format? And with that being said, you guys take care, like, subscribe, and peace out.